Whoa! Nine months ago, I rolled this car into this shop, completely blown up, and took it from its completely stock form into this heavily modified Subaru. We ended up pulling the motor, and now it is a fully built EJ25. We're running an FP green turbo on this car, 1000cc injectors, Manley rods, pistons, pretty much everything you can think of has been done to this car. And now, as you see, we're moving on to bodywork. Over the course of 9 months, we built this car, and today is finally the day that we get to drive it. There's only a couple things left that I want to take care of before we get this on the road, just because it's already in a condition to take it apart before we can drive it. So I want to get this MAF pipe and then that intake pipe off the car. I'm going to get it stripped down, and it's going to go this same color, so it's going to match the whole thing. Get rid of that red. Well, there we have it. These are the two pieces that need to get brought down to bare metal and then coated. We should be good to go. Well, I don't have a strip tank, so we needed to use a chemical stripper. I shouldn't invest in a strip tank. That would be smart. Seems to always happen. Whenever you need to use plastic, the wind picks up and then it just becomes unusable. We got these guys stripped and sandblasted, so they're ready for some powder. And our powder of choice is Blackjack from Prismatic Powders. It cures at 375, 15 minutes. That's going to be a nice addition to that bay right there. This is going to be a nice, like, matte OEM color. It should match the Killer Bee inlet almost perfectly. So we need to get this loaded up in the gun, and we get this sprayed out. Whoa! Beautiful. Looks like we have great coverage there. Let's go ahead and pull it out and let them cool down. Alright, well, that's everything. Now, last thing left to do is throw a battery in it, flash a tune, and then we are ready to put a heat cycle in it and go for the first drive. This turned out amazing, by the way. Got rid of all the red in the engine bay. I think that looks way better. Might be a Subaru hot take for me, but I think like the wrinkle red, unless it's, you know, just the intake manifold, I think it's a little too much, a little tacky, but that's personal preference. It is now game time. Time to do the first start with a fresh tune. And we're also going to see if we have any leaks, because I did find one fuel leak and I just fixed it. Injector tie down was a little loose, so it's coming out a little bit out of the injector, and then the fuel rail, like the where you can adapt to a fuel pressure regulator on the rail, that needed some thread locker. But other than that, we are go for the first start with the new tune. Let's start it and check for leaks. After 9 months, she is finally out of the garage. I have a couple weird sounds I need to figure out. I don't know what they are. I think it's probably the AC compressor. See all the smoke billowing out of it now, finally. Everything's burning off on the underneath. I have the coolant here burping, so hopefully everything's good. Let's check the gauges. It says we have 96 pounds of oil pressure, which is good. No lights on the dash other than the airbag light, and I'll fix that. Dam's good, fuel ratio's good. It sounds like my wastegate is wide open. I need to check the plumbing on that to make sure that's good. I just shut the car off because it was idling at 2,000 RPMs. You'd blip the throttle, it would drop and come back up, and then air-fuel ratios would get all messed up. So I think I need to send a log over to the tuner and make sure that everything is good, because it was sitting at 14.7, 14.8 on the access port when I first pulled it out of the garage, and then it was jumping around to lean, so it was going from like 14.7 to 20 and bouncing in there to 18, and so we need to get that guy sorted out. But I just checked over all the fuel lines and everything in here. We have no leaks, so that's a plus. Now all that's left to do is really just kind of go for a quick little drive to hopefully see if that'll stop doing that under load. One thing I did notice is my wastegate is wide open. You can hear it just at idle. So I need to figure out how that's plumbed wrong. I'm assuming that's what it is, it's just plumbed wrong. The wastegate down there, and then our dump tube is over there. And I can just feel exhaust coming out of the dump tube. So something's plumbed wrong to where it's not, I think that's probably why our air-fuel ratio is messed up as well, because it's dumping before it hits the O2 sensor. So it's messing up our rear O2 AFRs. Alright, so as you can see, car is back in the garage. We have a few things to look over. So I'm sure as you saw in one of the clips of it running, you could hear like a high squeak. It's nothing internal. I think it's most likely either power steering or AC compressor related. I've always had problems with this freaking compressor, so I don't know what's going on there. But I'm also thinking power steering because I can hear it from this side of the motor. Maybe my mind's playing tricks on me. I don't know. Another thing is I took some logs of the car on this guy. I need to send those logs off to the tuner. It's not going below 2,000 RPM unless I give it some gas and then it drops down and the air fuel's a little off. I'm curious if it has to do with my wastegate or not. I'm going to send it to my tuner and have him look it over. I was in a rush and I probably should have checked before I put it all together. But I don't know if there was springs in my wastegate when I bought it or not. So that could be an issue, causing my wastegate to stay open because it doesn't have any pressure holding it down. I ran over all of the vacuum lines and vacuum ports on the EBCS. Everything is hooked up to the proper location. Everything is where it needs to be. So I'm thinking either that in the tune, the EBCS is holding it open with vacuum, or there's no springs in the wastegate causing it to stay open. So I need to open the wastegate here. Not in this video, but I'll do it in another one. Pull the wastegate off, open it up, check it out, and then we'll go from there and see if there's springs. If there isn't, we'll order some. If there is, who knows what's going on. Other than that, the car ran really good. There's zero rod knock. There's zero anything else wrong with the car other than it stays at 2,000 RPMs. Air fuel's a little off, and something's funky with my wastegate. Everything is tuned great so far. We just need to get a little revision to see if we can't make it better. Everything's burned off. One thing I do need to check out as well is these fans on this Mishimoto radiator. They're OEM fans, but they're not wanting to kick on, so I'm going to need to do some diagnosing on some wiring and see what's going on there. But other than that, everything is perfect. So once we get this new tune back, we'll go for a longer drive. I know I just pulled it out to down here, and I drove it down to the end of my driveway, and I was having that RPM issue, so I backed it back in and just checked over a few things. But I think I'm going to wrap up the video right here. Thank you everybody for watching. I appreciate all of you, and hopefully in the next video we'll get a longer first drive out of the way and start stacking some miles on this so we can actually get into boost here soon. With that being said, I'm going to wrap it up right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.